Hey y'all, let's talk about the facts. Many of us were taught by our parents nothing about financial literacy. We were not taught how to manage money. When you did have money, you were to go spend your money and do whatever you wanted to do with it. You were going to go buy stuff that you didn't have no business buying. You had no budget. You had no tracking whatsoever. You just went out and you just spent. We need to learn to teach our children to break those generational curses. How do we break those generational curses? You have to start with yourself. You have to sit down. You have to write a budget. Not only do you have to write a budget, you have to stick to a budget. You have to learn to read books about financial literacy. Books by people like Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Millionaire Next Door, The Intelligent Investor, The Richest Man in Babylon. And when you sit down and you read these books, you'll begin to see how people have not been doing what God has called for us to do with money. We haven't been managing it well. We've been spending it like crazy and instead of doing what we're supposed to do. Now, I want you to take these same principles that you learn instead of keeping them to yourself, because we're breaking generational curses, right? Instead of keeping it to yourself, now sit down and teach these principles to your children. Teach your children how to invest. Teach your children what the stock market is. Teach your children about cryptocurrency. And as you're teaching them, teach them how to budget. Show them how to go to the bank and set up accounts and stuff. But banks is eventually going to go away. But anyway, showing them how to set up banks and different stuff. How to pay for their own insurance. How to pay for their own phone bill. If you spend this over here, you won't be able to have this over here down the road. Teach them how to prepare for their future. This is how we break generational curses. Don't sit and lie with the excuse that I wasn't taught. That's a cop-out. Yes, you weren't taught. Yes, you didn't know better. But you can learn to know better. And as you learn to know better, you learn to do better. And as you do these things, you break generational poverty by learning these simple things. Take the time to sit down and do that and shift not just your future, but the future for your whole generation. We can do it. We're in this together. Let's do better.